hail, 3 out of 5 enhanced risk. These are for hail. Yesterday of hail producing storms. Less of a threat today, but yeah, overall hail is going to be a threat of tornado. Moderate with wind, not really worried. Hail's primary threat here. Well, it's just they are not. About 13 our current wrap run. Not really the typical. Kind of this ridge. Texas high pressure ridge. You see this kind of stagnant belt, slightly enhanced, but not super, not super impressive flow there. Has some more, not nothing at least. So get someone out here likely. Best for storm. Anything to be looking at. I'll look at our little belt of enhanced flow right here, right near the West Texas here. Belt of enhanced flow. Any supercell at low level or surface. And still in the United States as a whole, start to get a little bit of the afternoon here. The air pressure is dropping down to 10. Really support that. To suck in some air. Get closer. Here's Texas. Enhanced risk is here and here. Much as our moisture starts to kind of improve throughout the day here, especially in our our higher plains here. Earlier on in the day, this is not very impressive moisture. Low 50s. Throughout the day, we do kind of improve. Pretty intense. Pressure will decrease as well. Out of the vectors we've talked about kind of a lot in this. A lot of situations where that's out. And yeah, it's really wind vector. A more kind of rotate. Our instability is this shape. Notice over Texas, we're minimal here. That's something important again. Just all this moisture. We do have a very large large wind risk. Those two, not very intense, but again, if you look at that area, we do have very, very rich moisture here. 75, mid 70s dew point. Purple colors are dew points over 7. Good moisture, regardless, over a large area. Not to mention, again, we do have more of that flow. Might help aid in kind of large scale spreads out there. But specifically in our region of kind of, area, we don't have as much upper level. Our instability is going to be what helps this line form. Very quick moisture gradient. That will again aid in storm. Due to the, here you can see easterly vectors out here. That will help. We talked about that a lot. That's going to help our storm. H triple R. Here. On the time here. You kind of out in lunchtime here, 1 p.m. Immediately start to get some Colorado. More of that becomes around kind of near the evening hour. A few lone supercells, a few let's say the 6C run, just clustered mode, larger decibels, simulated infectivity, brighter colors here show shafts, kind of congealing into not seeing too much out. Okay, likely due to our current up here, this whole point line segment. Line. And then again, storm coverage basically right near 7 p.m. eventually into night. Yet again, I expect storm coverage not the most organized. Expect that have high instability, a lot of storms going on as it is. Very triple R's tail swath. We're going to see the most. In particular, we definitely see some of these X and really strong right move right here. That will help with hail coverage, basically. That's where our main two areas are again. Basically, right where our two risks will enhance risk there. But very similar to yesterday, hail being the main threat. Victor, not really too much. Look at soundings now, but overall, tornado threat is not. I'm really too worried. Storm coverage. Let's just get 21Z. Trying to combine triple R sounding upper planes. They're a lot better, less moisture in general. Elevated convection. LCLs are pretty high per kilometer. Very straight photographs here. Straight line practically. Even though we do have that easterly, not much curvature. Colorado, we didn't have that 850 millibar jet that was not ramping up, and that's not going to help our, or at least our storm intensity. We're not going to get those rotating updrafts due to lack of strong inflow in. Not a lower level jet. It really helps to ramp up storms, especially after dark, but we don't see that up in Colorado. Down to our Lubbock, it looks a little more favorable for a tornado. Still very straight line. A little bit of more. But storms most likely won't be able to take a little bit lower LCLs down here as well. 3K via the RAP model. And again, still lacking it being out here on our slight risk. That's kind of the main point, right? Is we have this upper level stable cape showing that we do have more severe level instability. Like the profile, not really starting until down. That's over a kilometer above the ground, or at least, yeah, it looks like over above, yeah, about 5 kilometers. You're gonna get these very strong updrafts, much atmosphere. In here again, this is stable KPI, upper level instability. A little better LCLs in better curvature as well. So this kind of shows how the Lubbock, basically Lubbock region again, central region of Lubbock being right in the middle of that enhanced risk. That's the main threat is, but we do have probably a more elevated during these. We do have a large 5% getting on. It's very possible that form interactions, just right movers could have those straight photographs. Have a straight photograph. Moves off this way. All that inflows. That's our main setup for today. We look at our tropical outlook, and as of now, for a while we've been watching, trying to. They've had this 70% out for a while, since decreasing. Most likely ramped up in even 50% of our satellite down there. See how this is going. Yeah, with time, we're currently in water vapor. Might not be the best. I see our two regions of interest out here. One's development starts to wrap up a little bit, would continue to eventually drop characteristics. Well, again, really, you can really see the rotation out here, kind of like the pressure system. Second disturb, a little more. Have the other off, kind of right here, very close by, right here. Yeah. These could wrap up, but that's also an understand the out ahead, nor does the upper. Yeah, you see the ridging out of this direction. Wouldn't see any impacts. Still keep an eye on it. Not too worried about these. They are still just considering emergence here. This is kind of a segue into, or what's our pattern going to look like for the future. Our current pattern. This is using the DFS ensemble. For the time here, big old trough here. Pretty good A3 out ahead. Probably leading some color out. With time, you'll high pressure ridge going west, central US throughout most of this period. Pretty good agreement on a ridging for a while here. Spaghetti plots all the different models, and when they're treated like this, all similar like after this setup we're looking at. Even out to about 200 hours here. Pretty good agreement. The 5760 still remain all here with the most. A pretty good agreement of a. In here again, it's very messy. Notice how a lot more of these 80 really showing up high up into the US. Not too much going down into. Seem to be remaining pretty far north. So this ridging pattern seems pretty. Just seeing how much of the green is still up here and how red is pretty far up as well. You also see a few of these models showing their tropical cyclones down south. Also noticing, let's looking for a few of the greens down here. See those greens? That means that we have those tropical cyclones being developed by the models. Tropical cyclone development 198 hours though, so not super well agreed on. Does seem to be in fair agreement of some point. Very hard to see here as well, but you'll see a few little green dots in there, possibly showing some tropical development. Also with these, not a huge agreement there either. Keep an eye on that again. Sorry for this video though, so if you're in this enhanced risk, paying attention. Hail being the main threat, but due to the straight nature of the hood, could get splitting super. The right movers are often way more. Saw that yesterday with a right mover. Really dropped a wedge tornado out there. I forget the city name, but it was out here in Texas. They had a pretty nasty supercell going on there. That's just because straight photographs, you end up with a kind of a left mover. You end up with a right mover storm. Down to the right. This one moves down to the left. This one's typically more. Really bad drawing. That's it for this video. Again, comments or concerns,